What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. New South Wales have had an absolute calamitous collapse, to say the least. 5 for 78 after 18 overs. So we are definitely on the front foot in this Australian domestic 50 over competition game. Now, I thought I'd come back, just play some domestic cricket, because this is where it all started. It's where we went and made our name. And it is just a lot of fun. Like, playing international cricket in this game, don't get me wrong, it is very fun. It is difficult, it is tough. But I must say that playing domestic cricket, coming back, I guess, to where it all began, it is just a whole lot of fun. I enjoy it across all my career mode series, coming back and playing for our state or even our county side in England. So we're going to hopefully start off here well, hopefully pick up some wickets, and we can continue on this this New South Wales slide, because, as I said, already 5 wickets down, not even in the 19th over yet. So we will definitely try and take that and try and build on that as we move towards getting New South Wales out and securing a big win for the Redbacks. But enough about that. Let's go and move on to, worldwide cricket, stuff that is happening around the world as we speak. I believe overnight, well, I know overnight, that the Pakistan-West Indies test, I believe this is a day-night test as well, because they are using the pink ball, that has finished up. Day one completely belonging to the West Indies. To Pakistan. West Indies were completely out of it. They had no show whatsoever. Pakistan finished up the day 279 for 1. So that is, as I said, very, very impressive. I think one of the openers, I'm not quite sure what his name was, scored 90 before getting out, I think, to Roston Chase. And then Azhar Ali, the one-day skipper, is still in. He's on, I think, 146 at the moment. So he is really creaming it. And I'm trying to think who's in at number 3 as well, but I think they're on a few as well. They're looking to go and make it big. But again, it comes back to that question, are Pakistan really that good at home? Are they that good in tests at the moment? Or is it just that West Indies are that poor? And, it is a definite question that does need to be asked. Are West Indies that bad? Obviously, they were whitewashed in the one-day series. I think they got a game back in the T20 series, but still lost that one 2-1. And, odds on that they probably aren't going to do too well or too favourably in this test series as well. That's a good bit of fielding down on the rope. It is going to cut it down to 3, so we do save a run. First run's coming off our bowling as well, so that is a definite plus, and hopefully we can continue on with that. 5 for 87 the score now, and as I said, there is still a long, long way left to go for this New South Wales side, for them to go and get something decent and defendable on the board. But we'll have to wait and see. So that's done and dusted. The one-day series between South Africa and Australia, that is finished. That is finished in a whitewash also. It is very weird to see Australia whitewashed in one-day internationals. Obviously, the current ODI world champs won the World Cup last year, but South Africa just far too good for them. And it wasn't for the lack of trying. David Warner, I think he's had a pretty good series. He scored a couple of hundreds, a couple of big hundreds as well in this last game. I think 171, I think, off the top of my head. So it's a very good knock in a one-day international. And to come in a losing cause, that must really suck to, score that many runs and obviously not be able to get up and get the W. So he scored that, but obviously no one else around him really did produce anything of note. South Africa, win that series. And I was reading somewhere that I believe Australia now, this year, have been whitewashed in every single format. They lost 3-0 to Sri Lanka in the Test series. They lost 5-0 to South Africa. That's what I was just talking about in the one-day international series. And they've lost in a T20 series to someone as well. I'm not 100% sure who, but they have been whitewashed in that as well. So not looking good, as I must say, for Australian cricket. But then a lot of people going around and saying, everyone seems to be whitewashing everyone at home. I mean, Sri Lanka obviously did it to the Australians, as I just said. Pakistan are doing it in their second home. I think they're playing in either Abu Dhabi or Dubai, one of the two. But, they whitewashed the West Indies. Sri Lanka obviously did it in the Test series. South Africa did it in the one-day series. India did it in the Test series against New Zealand recently as well. So it just seems to be getting to the point that, basically if you're playing away from home, that, the game or the series is almost decided already. And there is a lot of talk going around that You know, pitches almost don't need to be neutralised, but you know, it is a tough one. It comes to the point where, you know, basically if you're a touring party and, you know, you're not playing in conditions that are too familiar to you, I'd have to say that, you know, definitely going to the subcontinent for someone like Australia would be different to the conditions they are used to facing. But, you know, heading to somewhere like South Africa where the pitches are very similar, obviously very hard, very fast to suit their bowling style, you know, to get whitewashed there, you know, it is a bit of a concern. But you know, it is a hard one because obviously you play home and away, and when you play at home, you're obviously going to dictate the pitch conditions, shall we say, to your liking. Obviously, there's no point in someone like Sri Lanka, you know, booming out this big green top that's going to go and help their seamers when, you know, their bowling strength obviously lies in their spinners. So they're not going to go and do that because it just doesn't make sense. And I think that's where, you know, pitch neutralisation would be good, but it does also have its disadvantages. It would allow us to see, you know, who is the best team in general, just in regards to, you know, not all-round conditions, but it would allow us to see the best team over a period of time because, you know, a lot of the times teams get beaten by the conditions. And I think New Zealand, India is a good example of this here. New Zealand in that test series did have some patches of really, really good play. They played really, really well. They also had some patches where they played absolutely, well, they played atrociously, mainly into their batting, mainly thanks to Ravi Ashwin. So you think if we had been playing on a pitch possibly that wasn't turning quite so much, you know, possibly that was, I don't want to say a little bit more batsman friendly because the pitches in India are very batsman friendly, but you know, possibly not so susceptible to spin. You know, could have New Zealand gone and put up a bit more of a fight? Could have they been a bit closer in a couple of the test matches? You know, we will never know because the Indians, obviously, the ground staff are going to go and cater to what they want, and that is obviously a turning and a spinning pitch because that is where their strength lies. So it is a very hard one to go and try and turn around, and I probably, to be honest, don't see it happening anytime soon. Cricket, off the top of my head, really is the only sport that, you know, the pitch does determine, or the playing surface, you would say, does determine, you know, the makeup of a side and how a team does play. Off the top of my head, there aren't any other sports that would determine. The closest thing I can probably come to mind is football, where you can obviously have the different, you know, different dimensions, I guess, of the pitch, which could change your formation. You know, that's probably the closest thing that I can think of. But apart from that, cricket is really the only one that does go, and it is not a requirement, but it does influence, I guess, your team selection depending on which part of the world you're playing in and how the pitch is situated. You know, if it's going to be in the subcontinent, you're more than likely going to play more spinners than seamers. If it's a green top, you're obviously probably not going to go with any spinners or maybe just a part-time spinner. And you know, depending, I guess, on how hard and how fast it is will determine the makeup of the side. You know, do you play an extra bowler or an extra all-rounder because you may need that rather than the extra runs that the batters are going to provide. And we just can't seem to get a wicket here. We are, I wouldn't say struggling. We are not going for any runs whatsoever, but we have missed the stumps, we've missed the outside edge, we've missed the inside edge time and time again. But we're definitely doing our job. New South Wales, as I said, they're all over the place. Still only scored 116 and we're into the 32nd over now. So there is still plenty, as I said, of time to come. Not much batting left to come for New South Wales as well. These two are probably two of their mainstays. So if we can either keep them in, get them out, and then get some other quick early wickets, then we will be in with a good shout. But that one there, heading down leg, no point reviewing that one, wasting the review. But I don't know what it is. The wicket-taking ability does just seem to be gone. And you'd think coming back to domestic cricket, it's going to be slightly easier than international cricket, and we will be able to pick some up. But not the case. I don't know how many overs we've bowled, but we have been very good. We don't get a maiden here, which is a bit of a shame. But it should probably only be 2, maybe 3. Yeah, they're going to come back for the 3rd. Oh! Cliffy! What are you doing? Hit and he's gone. He was halfway down the pitch, and the throw's just missed. Oh my God, there probably wasn't a 3 there, but they've gone, they've taken it, they've taken the risk, and they have managed to come out the other side good with it. So this must be, I'm trying to think, we must be getting close to our allotment of overs. I think we start in the 18th or 19th, so we must only have another couple left to go after this. Probably won't do the batting today, depending on how we're going for time, just because one-day bowling, it does, you know, similar to test bowling, it does just seem to take up a fair bit of your time. That one there probably too high, so we're just not having any luck with anything today. Obviously, the LEWs aren't going our way. You know, we've missed the stumps a couple of times, we've missed the edge a couple of times, but the ball really is swinging, so that is a positive for us, and hopefully we can get one to nip back through the defences, especially if we can pick up one of these two early on, and then we can get one of the tail in, which would be good. But these two have put on a nice wee partnership, and just really frustrating, I guess, South Australia at the moment. Again, it's not a huge total. We're probably only looking at chasing down somewhere around the 200 mark, but you know, it's better going and getting to that 200, just playing it out a little bit slower, you know, getting around there than going and getting rolled, you know, the situation they were in. I think it was 5 for 78, you know, going and getting rolled for 120. You know, they've fought through this, they've batted almost 50 runs together, possibly over 50 runs together, I'm not too sure, but they are doing the job. They are getting some runs on the board. They're giving their bowlers something to work at. And the one thing about this New South Wales side is that they do have the bowlers to defend a total like that. So it will be interesting to see what does happen. Hopefully we won't be required, as I said, to have a bat, because we are already going just a little bit over time. As you know, I do like to keep my videos to about 10 minutes. You know, that's about the max. And finally we see a shot. I wouldn't say in a bit of anger, but it was the right shot to play. It was coming in, probably, you know, pitching on leg, and just got really helped on its way in the end. And that is going to be the first 4 that we have conceded. We have only conceded 14 runs, remember. And a wicket would be nice just to top it all off. It's all good bowling economically, but you need those wickets as well. You either need yourself to get them or a guy down the other end to help you out and, I guess, use that pressure. And that's what happens when you don't get wickets. You try and overdo it. We go and bowl front foot, no ball, and now it is a free hit to the New South Welshman. So it'll be interesting to see what Patterson does. He picks out the fielder. Typical, off the free hit, goes for an aerial shot, mistimes it, straight to the fielder. It happens so often in this game, it's not funny. But they're going to pinch probably a single off the last ball of the over. Not going to take 2, not after last time. And that is probably our most expensive over of the game so far, 6 coming from it. And I'd say that we probably only have, just the 1 over left to go. Whether we are going to get a chance to bowl that, I believe we are towards the back end. And as I said, it is looking as though New South Wales are going to get towards that 200. You know, that 200 that we were talking about. So that is a good effort. Sandhu, what a shot. What an absolute ripper of a shot. You're ruining my stats here, Sandhu. 15 off 15. We're none for 20, as I said, coming in to our final over of the game. And I just want to pick up just 1 wicket. Just 1 wicket. It's all good bowling, you know, your 10 overs for 20, 25 runs. But you want that wicket. You want that icing on the cake if you can get it. But not the case at the moment. We just need something. We just need a little bit of magic. Bit of magic in the field. An amazing catch. You know, one just to sneak through, I guess, the batsman's defence, but that's not the case. We will get a chance at Steve O'Keefe, though, with the final 2 balls. So, going to probably get, well, we're not going to see, but we're probably going to get around 200 to chase, as I said. Finally. That bit of magic, the diving catch, is what we needed. Callum Ferguson, we finally pick up a wicket, a well-deserved one, I believe, especially how we've been bowling to date so far. And finally, 1 for 21, we will definitely take that. If we could pick up another one here, which we almost have done, Hazelwood just swiping across the line on that one and probably just missing the off stump. So we finally get one, we finally get a wicket, and we are in. So as I said, you know, we are probably only going to be chasing about 200. Would be nice if we weren't required to bat. The openers didn't really go and get the job done, so we might come out, have a bit of a swing, because I do have confidence in the lower order. 26.3, it's not the best average in the world for number 6, it's not the worst, so we will be looking to go and probably try and improve on that if we can. We do have a fielder back on the leg side, so we're going to go up over the top if we can. We only require 44 runs. We've got a lot of time left to go as well. So would be nice if we could bat through this, but we're just going to go out for a slog. And hopefully it comes off. It's come off there. That's what we're trying to do first ball. We don't get a 6 first ball, but we do get 1 second ball. And Steve O'Keefe, back to the drawing board. Offside skill +2. We will definitely take that. So just a 38 needed now. As I said, would have been nice if I wasn't required to have a bat. It is the case though, but we'll just be looking to go and probably finish this one off early, build on that net run rate if we can, and you know, I guess build on our stats as well. Build on that strike rate, build on that average as well. If we can get that not out, it is going to really help us to boost it up. Because I think, you know, 26 in domestic cricket for a number 6, personally, I don't think it's good enough myself. I think it should be a hell of a lot more than what it is, especially in domestic cricket. You know, go into international cricket, you wouldn't be, I guess, as concerned, especially with the work that we do provide with the ball, but we really would want a hell of a lot more from ourselves. That's an absolute dart from Steve O'Keefe, but it doesn't matter. We're going to go up over cover. Haven't hit this one for a 4, sorry, for a 6, but it has gone for a 4, so we will definitely take that. Get that front foot skill. Love it. Love it. We're doing well. We only need 10 now, 10 off 19. And it is Sandu who's coming in now again. We hit him for a 6 last time, remember, so hopefully we can do it here again. I think that took an inside edge. I think. We got a skill point for it, so I'm not complaining. But I did think it did take a wee little inside edge. We're 22. Woohoo! I love it. 22 off 6. We may have gone for another 6. No, it is a 1 bounce for 4. And again, just the 10 needed, so 5 runs needed now, so we can do it with 1 shot if we can. We're at our average already, so 26. We'll definitely take that. Oh, it's a no ball. It is a no ball. And that is actually going to be game. We're not going to get the free hit because we did only need the 5 runs. And that is game. So we finish it off nicely with the bat. Travis Head getting man of the match for his 72 off 83. But 30 not out of 8 balls for Cliff. We will definitely go and take that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter links. That can be found down below in the description. Hope you've had a good week so far. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got more FIFA 17 career mode with the Phoenix coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.